Good morning, my lovely Callaway Middle School family. I'm Amy Thornton. I'm the proud principal of Callaway Middle School, and it's Wednesday. It's September the 1st. It's 10:45 or so, and I am recording another video. I did this about 2 weeks ago, and as I told you, I plan to do this from time to time as we collect different topics that we feel like, or I feel like I need to just bring straight to you. So these are in no particular order. I wanted to go back over some of the things from the 2 weeks ago. We talked about Chromebooks. I didn't get really into the cost of losing a Chromebook or not taking care of a Chromebook. We talked about that. It was an instructional tool. But it's different than an instructional tool because you can go and buy a pencil for pretty cheap. But if you do something like break a Chromebook, like people like to break pencils, it's going to cost you $340 to replace. And that's a big amount of money for me. I'm just going to speak for myself. $340 is something I don't want to just hand over to somebody. So I try to make sure my child takes care of the Chromebook. So we're asking that you do the same. We can give you loaners at school, not to take home until a Chromebook fee is paid. It goes into Infinite Campus and it follows you up through graduation as one of those fees that have to be paid. So make sure that students, you are taking care of your Chromebook, and parents, that you are reinforcing that at home. Also, we took up or asked for activity fees of $10 doing registration, Meet the Teacher. And many of you paid that. We are so thankful. That keeps us in ink and paper, and can help with some field trips and different student activities. So we appreciate that. For those that have not sent your $10 in, please do so when you can. We are probably going to send a little invoice if we haven't already for that, because it's not a lot, but it helps when you can get it in from everybody. So it's kind of like a shared community expense. If everybody pays the $10, then it helps us at Callaway Middle School. We've had some fights at Callaway Middle School, unfortunately. It's one of those learning things. We're learning how to get along, and we're also learning how not to get along. Do you know you cannot get along and not actually put your hands on somebody? Like, you can agree to not like somebody, and y'all can just not like each other, and it doesn't have to come to blows. Everybody with me on that? So that's a middle school thing, and unfortunately sometimes it's an adult thing as well. But we're trying to teach our kids that you don't have to love and like everybody, but you need to be respectful, and you need to keep your hands to yourself. So we're coming down on them. We're OSSing kids. We're sending kids to Hope, and we're also got consequences for those budding videographers at Callaway Middle School that like to record fights and post them. Parents question me, believe it or not, about, well, my kid wasn't fighting, they were just recording it. Well, guess what? Doesn't matter to me. You're part of it. You're helping keeping it going. You're grabbing your phone. You're even getting the phone from one of the people that are fighting, that are telling you to, hey, record this, because a lot of it's premeditated. So recorders of fights, you get consequences too. Parents, talk to your kids about it. We can agree to disagree about it, but that's the rule. That's my rule at Callaway Middle School. So make sure you tell your kids, if you record a fight, Miss Thornton's going to give you a consequence, so you better not do it. Keep sick kids at home. We're in a pandemic. Whether you believe it exists or not, it exists. Kids are getting sick. They are positive for COVID. And we call and get kids picked up, and parents say, well, he did tell me he didn't taste, or he couldn't smell, or he was running a little bit of a fever, but I thought he'd get better. If your child has symptoms, does not feel good, is coughing, has flu-like symptoms, we're begging you to keep them home and just see what the end is going to be, because we want to stay in school, and the best way to stay at school is to keep sick kids at home so that this thing doesn't continue to spread. So please keep them at home if they're not feeling good. Car riders, 7:30 to 8:10. You can start parking at 6:30 if you want to, but we do not open until 7:30, and the tardy bell is going to ring about 8:15 or so. So make sure that that's your time to let students out of the car. All right, I'm going to turn a little academic. We do a lot of pre-testing, I guess, is a word that people in my generation, parents and grandparents, can understand. It's kind of see where kids are. Diagnostic testing is probably what your kids may come home and say. So we do them for reading and for math, and we are in the throes of that. We're winding that up. Of course, everything is computerized. We've done iReady math diagnostic. We've done iReady reading diagnostic, and we're going to also do another growth measure for ELA/reading in the next couple of weeks. What I need from you families is to talk to your student about doing their very best on these assessments. We need to know where your students are. In the middle of this global pandemic, we are still trying to achieve high levels of academic achievement. We want kids to learn at high levels. So in order to do that, we really need to have a true measure of where they are. And a lot of times middle schoolers, I don't want to do it, I'm tired, they just don't take it serious, but it is serious. And so if you can just reinforce your expectations that they do their best at all times and try their hardest on these things, it will help the teachers get them to where they need to be. And then my next topic is mediocrity versus greatness. So I want my families to help instill in our middle schoolers greatness. I don't want them to be okay with a 75 or be okay with, it's okay if it's late, or it doesn't matter. I want greatness from everyone. I'm demanding it from the adults in this building. Ask the adults that work for me if I demand greatness at all times. I do, because I think the best thing to do is to model what greatness is. And so we're trying to put cover up mediocrity. We're trying to, it's not okay to be mediocre. We want you to be great, and we're going to show you by being great ourselves. And we want our families to help us with this. Don't accept mediocrity from your student, your child, in anything, in schoolwork, with what they got to do around the house, with whatever you just instill in them greatness, because that's what we are wanting from all of us, all of our students. We want greatness. And the last thing I have, because I just had to add one. The next to the last thing I have is high school football games. I've already got one little sweet girl that can't go back because she got in a fight at the high school game. So make sure, I know we like to drop our kids off and, run a few errands or have a minute to ourselves. But what happens is sometimes because we're teaching them how not to get along with each other, like the appropriate way to not like somebody, they get into it. And then when they get into it, they're banned. And we have a safety person, we have a district AD person that's really, holding us to, let's just say greatness in our behavior, and not mediocrity and fussing and fighting and cussing at the football games. Boys and girls, don't do it. Be nice and be kind. Last thing, I want to let you know how thankful I am for your patience as we work through quarantining and coming back and positive cases, and you're having to come get your kids in the middle of the day, and everybody's been so gracious, and I'm so thankful. I think I said it, someone actually reached out on social media to thank me for what we do, and my return response was thank you, because this is serving my families is what I do, like being here for the kids and for you all. That's what I do. It's what I love to do. It's why I am here. In saying that, we're going to have probably bus delays now because it's hitting transportation just like it's hitting us at the school. And so we've had a couple of schools that have tried to absorb it, but they can't absorb it as far as being the schools that always have the late routes. So there may be a time when your bus is going to be late because the driver's going to have to drive its normal route and then come back and drive another route, morning and or afternoon. So that will be communicated directly to you from transportation. So how are you going to get that communication? Today, you're going to go in Infinite Campus and you're going to make sure that your cell phone number and your email is up to date and current, because it comes through Send It, okay? And then the second thing you're going to do is download the Here Comes the Bus app. And we're going to post that again on our social media. It has a district code so that you can set that up to know when your bus is coming, when it's not coming, when it's going to be delayed. So that's going to be a two-way communication through Infinite Campus, through our Send It, which is directly linked to whatever information you have in Infinite Campus, and you're going to download the Here Comes the Bus app. So make sure you do that. We need to, this is just the way it is. We can't phone call 55 people to tell them your bus is going to be late, and then half the numbers are in there are incorrect. The computer is going to send that out, but the numbers need to be correct in Infinite Campus. So please make sure that you today go into Infinite Campus and update so that it syncs tonight, so that if the bus is late tomorrow, you will know and your students will know. I have said a lot. If you've got any questions, you can call me at the school, Amy Thornton, 706-845-2080. You can send me an email, and know that I will revisit some topics and come up with new things to say in the next couple of weeks. Remember, I love you. We want what's best for you and your students, and we're after high levels of academic achievement, aka greatness, at Callaway Middle School. Thank you.